Alright, so Ash Forest. If you go ahead and click the node to route here, that'll be the spot that you put your horse typically, and your tent. There's quite a bit of tech here, so I'm gonna kind of preface the spot before I show the rotation. Um, the first thing is there's three mobs. There's the Gyrus, which is the little guy. It's no real threat unless you get a whole pack behind you. There's the Barnus, which is going to be present in every single spot that you're going to pull a pack. He'll pose a threat if you leave him up long enough to slow you and tank your attack speed. And then there's the red guy, which is the Volcrus. That guy will KD you. So the most important thing is that whatever you're running for your crystals, you get 100% KD resist out of. So for me, that's what this looks like. So I just run adamantines. Um, I run the glorious Socrads for just the damage, and then I filled these two slots with Cobelinus. You'll notice that I'm budget as hell. I don't have a Garmoth. If you do, you could probably pop in like Corrupteds or something, squeeze a little bit more out of your crystal setup, but otherwise this is a typical rig for grinding. Um, and then we're gonna be running an Exquisite Cron along with Calx and a Frenzy. Uh, and just splurge for the nicer frenzies because it's worth it. Um, as far as artifacts go, it's your call, whatever class you play. I like to run the Camasylvia damage because that applies to these mobs. So squeeze a little bit out doing that. And the other thing I want to talk about is you could min-max this a little bit more if you're higher AP and run the green offhand. Uh, the soft cap for this place is something like 560 total AP, so if you know anything about that, you just go in here, look at what your total AP is. If you're higher than that, just run this. What I will say is, at least for me, going to that, it's a big tank on your DP. So definitely know what you're doing first before you jump into that. But if you really want to min max, that's one way to do it. So other than that, long-winded, I know. Show you how to pull these packs. So I'm not gonna run anything fancy right now, but you definitely want to be here for debos, so you're gonna run tent buff and a level 1 scroll. The trash is pretty miserable. You're not gonna be making too much money here, but you're not really here for money if you're here. So every time you get to a pack, you're gonna hit the seed. That spawns mobs, and then you're gonna go straight to the Barnes. Like I said, he's a big threat, so we kill him first, we go back to the seed. Every time you hit this, it triggers the surrounding mobs to become aggro to you. So if you stay on it and just lay your damage down on the seed, it's going to keep pulling these mobs into you. So at this point here, when you see it's just a little pack of Gyrus, this is going to be the end. So whatever you kill there, move on. This seed, you gotta hit this Barnus here. Make sure you hit the seed, and then you come to this. So while the mobs are spawning, you're killing this one, and by the time you finish him, you should have this Barnus on the seed. And then we can finish off the pack. You'll also notice the Volcrus's attack patterns, they have one move that they kind of disappear, and they will always come out swiping behind you just like that guy did, wherever you were standing when they disappeared. So be on the lookout for that if you're not as tanky or you don't have iframes. Definitely something to watch out for. So that seed, go to this Barnus here. As soon as I finish him, I come back over here, hit the seed again, come to this Barnus. this seed here, just tap it, and then come back to this spot. We're going to get those mobs spawned while we finish this. And then come back here on the seed, get this Barnus out of the way. And this is definitely one of those places you don't have to finish every single mob in the pack. I mean, it doesn't really matter for your trash. Everything is going to be able to drop both the gazes and the raw Deberekas. This seed here specifically, sometimes, most of the time it's broken. It won't spawn mobs. If it's not broken, you'll do what I just did. You hit the Barnus, come to the seed, walk back, then he comes on you. Finish that. For the times that you hit this seed and it does not spawn mobs, what you'll do is just go to the Barnus and fight on him. It'll aggro about 4 Volcrus, and that should be enough. Typically, you know, you just do the 4 Volcrus really quick and the Barnus, and then you come up to here. I hit that seed, and we go to this Barnus. Now, depending on where the Barnus over there in the distance is, he will aggro as well. Yeah, you can see him coming over now. I try to just do this as quick as I can, so I don't have to kill him on this pack, because that enables me to get this seed and have him be a part of this pack, which is where he belongs. So I'm going to kill some mobs here while he comes over. Then we'll finish him. And you're back at the start of the rotation. So that's main. I've seen a lot of people run this counterclockwise as well. Sorry, clockwise, because I do it counterclockwise. There's no real effect to that. I don't think it makes a big difference in trash. But now I will show you the off rotation, which is, let's see if I can find this without messing it up. In this rotation here, it's not as big as the main rotation. And I mean, where you're gonna find the biggest difference is in how many seeds there are, and also there's a big run you have to do. So a slow class like a Sork, it's probably, you know, not the best play for this one, but you know, if main is taken, it's no loss. You can always do this one here. So I got here a little janky, but you would typically come up to the top of this hill. And this is where you'll be safe to put your horse and your tent. So you land that there. Let me show you where that is on the map. So Ash Forest like symbol is there. You're just right off here. So not super far away from the actual node, but that's where that is. And then here, I'm just going to show you the seeds. You'll do this seed, that's your Barnus. Then you'll come down here. This seed, that's your Barnus. This one, guess who? Then here's that long run. You have to come all the way down here. There's your fella, there's your seed. And then you go all the way over here. And that's your guy. Be careful around this guy. There's a bunch of trees here. They eat all of your damage. So when you have the whole pack on you, it can get a little finicky if you're trying to heal off of hits. So something to look out for. And that's kind of the rotation, you know. If you're a lower AP player, maybe like in the 280s or 290s, you could benefit from running a full elixir rotation, although that's going to be pretty expensive. You can min-max that way, but typically these days most people have enough gear to just do a standard, frenzy and caulks and just be good on that. You're looking for, I would say, I pull between 2900 and 3100 trash on a blue loot scroll. So that's level 1. Um, I don't know what the numbers for yellow are because it's really not worth running a yellow here. And you're looking at getting a gaze potentially every, we'll call it 2.5 to 3 hours on that trash. So it's not good, but it's not horrible. I've done about 150 hours here. I've gotten a couple raw drops. I've gotten 2 ring pieces, which those drop from the Volcrus. So if that's what you're interested in, that's who to go for. Um, if you're here for the Orzeka helmet, everything drops the lung rarely, and all the mobs can drop leaves along with Afuarus. So that's that. But either way, run Villa, run Church, run your Vels, do whatever you can, and best of luck.